to me. Everything to me. Everything. Everything. You're everything. You're everything to me. Amen. Let's give the Lord a hand for me. For being everything to us. For being your hope for tomorrow. Your joy in sorrow. Everything you need him to be. Give God praise for being everything you need him to be. Whatever it is he's been at. Whatever it is, he's been just that. Give God praise because he's been everything. If you need him to be anything, you need him to be his man. Just that. Give him praise. Give him glory. Give him honor. Because he's been whatever it is you need him to be. Amen to our pastor and husband, to all the people of God who are here today. I am glad to be in the house of the Lord. It is always good to see my family here. Always good to see my family, my nephews, my niece. It's good to see them. My baby girl who spent the night with her grandma. She came on in, so glad to see her face in the face. And to Dr. West, thank you for coming. You know, she has to come with a different eye, so it's kind of nerve-wracking that she has to come and observe me, so it's a different eye she has to come with. So we're like, oh my God. So when I'm preparing, I'm like, oh my God. She has to come critique me, so it's a different eye. But to God be the glory. If you would turn with me to the Gospel according to St. Mark. To the Gospel according to St. Mark. And if you would turn to the 9th chapter. Mark, the 9th chapter. And we will start at the 20th verse. And I will be reading from the ESV version, the English Standard Version. And they brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy, and he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus asked his father, how long has this been happening to him? And he said, from childhood, and it has often cast him into fire and into water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Wow. And Jesus said to him, if you can help. All things are possible for one who believes. Hallelujah. Immediately the father of the child cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. Mama. And when Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, you mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. Mama. And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, he came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, he is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose, and he entered the house, and his disciples asked him privately, why could we not cast it out? And he said to them, this kind cannot be driven out, but anything but prayer. And some of you, your version probably says, but by prayer and fasting. I want to go back up to where it says, if you can.
All right.
All things are possible for one who believes in me. And the Father cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. I would like to teach from the subject, the theology of doubt. The theology of doubt. God, in the name of Jesus, we come today, Lord, thanking you, oh God. Lord, we come at this time, Lord, thanking you, God, for allowing us to come into your tabernacle once again. God, it is the preaching hour. Breathe on your servant right now. Give me your words, God, because they're only yours. Breathe on me, God, as I can only do what you tell me to do. Hallelujah. Give your people what they need, God.
Yes.
As I am your willing vessel this morning. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. It is in the name of Jesus I do pray. Amen. The theology of doubt.
That's good.
All of us have heard sayings about doubt in and out of church.
Well,
We've heard people say doubt is a pain too lonely to know that faith is its twin brother. Doubt your doubts before you doubt your faith. When you doubt your power, you give power to your doubt.
yes.
Faith and doubt cannot reside in the same place.
That's right.
Feed your faith and starve your doubts. And my personal favorite is, if you're going to pray, don't worry. And if you're going to worry, don't worry. Well, how am I going to deal with my doubt, anxiety, and worry if I don't pray about it? We tend to demonize things in church and make things spiritual that are not even practical. The fact of the matter is that all of us, no matter how saved we are, have dealt with doubt at some point or another. I know that James 1:6 says, let him ask in faith with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. I know that Isaiah 41:10 says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And I know Matthew 21-22 says that if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what was done to the fig tree, but also if you say to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, it will be done. And whatsoever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. Even with these scriptures and many more, all of us have dealt with worry, fear, and doubt. Amen. All of us have had something in our life that has caused doubt to set in. But what is even more troubling are those that make you feel that you are not saved because you battle with doubt. All right. You hear people say, I thought you were saved. You need to press in. You got to trust God even when you can't trace him. Well, you know the Bible says, let me stop you right there. I already know what the Bible says. I got several and about 10 different translations, and I can tell you what it says, but I need you to give me a moment. All right. Give me the space and the reality to deal with my doubt. Can God heal? Yes. Has he healed? Yes. But will he do it this time? I don't know. Can God provide? Yes. Has He provided? Yes. But will He do it this time? I don't know. Can God make a way? Yes. Has He made a way? Yes. But will He do it this time? I don't know. All right. What's causing you to doubt Him this time? Well, the last time, He had already done it. The last time, we weren't on life support. My mom wasn't on life support. The last time I didn't get an eviction notice. The last time we weren't filing divorce papers. The last time it didn't get this far. So I had doubts. It didn't get this far the last time.
That's good.
So it's not about can God or has God, but I don't know if God will this time. I'm struggling. I'm saved. I'm a believer, but I have my doubts. This is what's happening in our text today. And it's coming from the Gospel of Mark. And when you read the Gospel of Mark, Mark is a little different from the other Gospels.
Wow.
Okay? So when you read Mark, you'll notice some things about Mark different from the other Gospels. Mark does not include the birth of Christ. That's right. He doesn't have Lord's Prayer. He doesn't talk about the Beatitudes. There's even not a story about Jesus appearing after the resurrection. It's the shortest gospel. Matter of fact, if you read Mark, it kind of just ends. That's right. It like just stops. And you're like, what happened? What happened? And Mark kind of tells the story of Jesus with a sense of urgency. But he paints Jesus, he's one of the gospel writers that paints Jesus in a very human manner.
Well,
when you read Mark, you see Jesus being hungry and tired.
Yeah.
You see him as being weak and frail. And you see Jesus get indignant. Like he did in this story. Oh my. So this story is the fourth and the last of Jesus' exorcisms in the book of Mark. You find his disciples in a debate with the teachers of the law and this large crowd. Jesus had authorized his disciples to cast out demons, and they had done it before, but this one they couldn't do.
My Lord.
This boy is mute. He has seizures that push him to the ground. They cause him to foam at the mouth. He's grinding his teeth and make him stiff as a board. The boy's father has asked the disciples to drive out the spirit. He goes to Jesus and says, your disciples couldn't do it.
Talk about
And he pretty much put them on blast, and they got public shame. Amen. And so the teachers of the law, y'all can't do this. Now, mind you, they can't either, but they calling the disciples out.
Right.
And so Jesus, who just came off the Mount of Transfiguration, so he done had a high time,
Walks into this.
comes down, and this is what he dealing with. Like, what?
That's serious.
He's been on the Mount of Transfiguration having a high time. And he come down, and the people that he has taught, that he has authorized, can't do what he told them.
Well.
And he look disgusted. And he says, how long?
I'm going to be with you.
How long will I be with you? In essence, he was like, how long is it going to take you to get it? How long is it going to take you? How long am I going to have to teach you how to do this?
Well.
Because you gotta understand, Jesus' active ministry was only 3 years.
That's
That's
right.
right.
So they didn't have a whole lot of time to be hid and home and trying to figure out how to do this. So the boy is brought to Jesus. All right. The daddy told Jesus, you know, your disciple couldn't do what I asked him to do. The boy is brought to Jesus. When the boy is brought to Jesus, he starts having a seizure right there on the spot, falls down, but Jesus don't deal with that. He starts talking to the daddy.
My Lord.
Mama.
God.
Uh-oh. Come on, first lady.
Come on.
The boy starts having a seizure, falls to the ground. Jesus doesn't deal with the seizure. He starts talking to the daddy.
Yeah.
This is why some of us have doubt. We know that God sees our situation. And I can imagine as Jesus is turning to address the Father, in the Father's mind, he probably like, you don't see this right here? You don't see my child laying right here? You want to talk to me? You don't see this?
My Lord.
But you asking me how long he been in this condition? Come on, first lady. Jesus, why does it matter how long he's been in this condition? My child is suffering right now. I need you to fix it.
Amen.
Right now.
You know the tumor is growing at a rapid pace. I need you to fix it.
Amen.
You see that my job is about to shut down. I need you to fix it. You see my marriage is on the verge of breaking up. I need you to fix it. When trials, issues, and challenges are happening in our lives, spiritually, one of 3 things are happening.
Tell us.
God is trying to get something to us to grow us.
Yeah.
He's trying to get something out of us to deliver us.
Amen.
Or he's using this to help somebody else. And in some cases, all 3 could be happening. And the reason why most of us struggle with doubt is that we're rarely thinking about those answers. We're harboring on the question. And the question we ask is, why?
Why?
Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why my child? Why my marriage? Why my family member? Why my job? Why my mental health? Why my relationship? Why they lie on me? Why am I battling this addiction? Why can't I seem to shake this? Why can't I get out of this bed of sin? Why can't I get ahead financially? Why do I seem like I'm so stuck? Why?
Word.
But if we look at this story really closely, it might help us. Jesus speaks to the Father, but does not address the Son laying there. We are trying to figure out why he doesn't, but he does not just address the situation, he addresses the Father.
Yes.
Now remember, this is his last exorcism.
That's a good question.
And it's the first time he demanded faith as a condition for him to do an exorcism.
Believe.
It's the first time. The first time. The man with the unclean spirit in the first chapter of Mark, all he did was cry out, "What have you do with us, Jesus?" Jesus rebuked the silent man and the spirit, and it came out. In the 5th chapter of Mark, with the man who we know as Legion, who had many demons, he cast the spirit out, sent it into the swine, and he was delivered. The Syrophoenician woman in Mark 7, whose daughter was possessed with the impure spirit, she displayed faith, and Jesus healed her daughter, but he didn't demand it. It's right here in this text was the first time Jesus demanded that this man have faith as a condition for him to act. So at the heart of this exorcism is the struggle for faith, not the battle with the demon.
Right.
Which is why he didn't pay any attention to that child there with God.
That's good. That's good.
See, the reason why we battle with faith is because sometimes we focusing on the wrong thing. Most of the time, we want to blame the enemy for everything that's going on in our lives, and that's not the issue. Sometimes the enemy has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. You walking around rebuking, casting out something that has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on with your issue. It's not always the enemy. Sometimes it's the inner me. It's not always the enemy. It's the inner me. We pray, God, search me and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there's any wicked way in me and lead me in the way of everlasting. We pray, creating me a clean heart and renew within me a right spirit. But what we don't understand is a pure heart and a right spirit. It don't come by osmosis. Try me and know my thoughts. If you really want to know where faith lies, sometimes you're going to have to go through something. Sometimes you're going to have to live through something. If you really want to know the barometer of where your faith is, let something happen to what you treasure the most in, and you'll really see where you are in this life. And so when you say, try me, you don't know how you will be tried.
Come on.
You preaching.
Come on. So, Jesus didn't deal with the child laying right there on the ground. He dealt with the condition of the man's faith.
Working heavy now.
This boy lying here on the ground.
Yes.
Convulsing. And Jesus, at night, the boy wasn't even there. He's talking about how long he been in this condition.
Mama. A long time. Amen.
Jesus' question revealed the problems and severity of what the child has been going through, but it prompts the father's cry. Because for too long, the boy has been dealing with this spirit.
That's it.
And sometimes we've been dealing with something for so long. God has got to deal with the level of our faith so that we don't have to keep dealing with this thing over and over again. That's why he had to deal with the condition of his faith. That boy been going through that so long. Been going in the water, going in the fire. He should have been dead by now. He should have been dead by now. And if Jesus didn't deal with the Father's faith, he was going to eventually die.
That's good.
That's real good.
He was also mute and deaf. And so when that spirit came in the presence of Jesus, it threw itself on the ground. That's why Jesus wasn't concerned. He wasn't concerned.
Yes.
He knew that spirit was subject to him.
Yes.
So he wasn't worried about that.
Yes, sir. That's good.
Say it.
So the father, seeing his son being tortured, he became a little drained. And his faith that Jesus could do any better than his disciples was wavering a little bit. So he says to Jesus, if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us. And Jesus said, this is when he got in there. If like, you don't know who I am? Now, I know my disciples did not do what they were supposed to do.
Indeed.
But my record speaks for itself. Because if you go back and Mark, before you get to this story, he had already healed Peter's mother-in-law.
That's right.
He had healed the man man with leprosy. He had healed the paralyzed man. He had healed the man with shriveled hand. He had calmed the storm, fed the multitude, healed the blind man, and already exorcised 3 people before he even got to this man right here. And you got the nerve that says, but here's what the man is thinking like the rest of us. Yes, Jesus, I know you can, and I know you have done it before, but will you do it this time? Amen. Jesus says everything is possible for him who believes. So the man says, I believe, but help my unbelief. And if we're all honest, we all wrestle with this same issue.
That's right.
The theology of doubt.
Amen.
If you read this same text in the Message Bible, he asked the boy's father, how long has this been going on? He says, ever since he's a little boy, many times it pitches him into the fire of the river to do away with him. If you can do anything, do it. Have a heart and help us. Jesus says, if there are no ifs among believers, anything can happen. No sooner were the words out of his mouth, the father cried, then I believe. Help me with my doubts. I like this translation because it helps us to understand that there is a difference between doubts and unbelief.
That's
Amen.
There's a teaching series by Colin Smith called Faith with Questions, dealing with the darkness of doubt. And he talks about the difference between doubt and unbelief. And he says that you can't have faith without questions. And I know we all grew up hearing people say that you can't question God.
That's right.
But why not? That's who has the answers.
Talk about it. Amen.
There are certain things God has revealed that makes faith possible. But there are certain things that God has not revealed. And so we have to understand that the things he has not revealed that makes faith necessary.
Amen.
So there's things he has revealed that makes faith possible. But there's certain things he has not revealed that makes faith necessary.
All right.
Paul says that now I know in part. We know in part, that's why we walk by faith and not by sight.
Amen.
Faith lives with unanswered questions. You cannot live in this world without asking why. We live with the mysteries of evil and suffering, just as it's part of the Christian faith to say we know that God has revealed. It's also part of Christian humility to say we do not know what God has not revealed.
Yes, God.
We will always have questions, and it's okay to say, I don't know. But what I do know is that I am going to trust God until his will is clear. I will not lean unto my own understanding. I will acknowledge him, and I will know eventually he will direct my path.
That's good.
Hallelujah.
That's good.
The other thing Smith says is that you can only doubt what you already believe.
All right.
Doubt is not absent of faith. Doubt is questioning faith. You can only doubt what you already believe.
That's right.
So that's good news for us.
Yes, sir.
Because Hebrews 11:6 says, but without faith it's impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So even in my state of doubt, I still have enough sense to seek the Lord. I can still please him even when I'm battling with my doubts. I can still get into his presence. Even when I'm not sure if he will come through this time, I still can go to him and please him.
Come on, help. You preaching, man. You preaching. Yeah.
The other point he says is that we have to understand there's a difference between doubt and unbelief. Doubt is questioning what you believe. Unbelief is a determined state of refusal to believe. Doubt is a struggle faced by the unbeliever. Unbelief is a condition of the unbeliever. Unbelief involves spiritual blindness and a determined resistance to God. In the case of Job and his wife, who experienced a great family tragedy. And one day they lost their business, wealth, property, and every one of their 7 children died at a house where they were holding a party, and the house collapsed on them. Job and his wife were thrown into a tailspin. They responded in entirely different ways.
Well,
Suffering exposed Job's love for God as he wrestled with the mysteries he could not understand.
yeah.
But it revealed his wife's unbelief because she said, curse God and die. Their response to suffering was the most revealing thing about them, and it will be one of the most revealing things about us. I said earlier how we respond to tragedy and those things most precious to us will be the barometer of our faith. But the good news is that Jesus is not limited by our doubts. His power is not limited by our doubts. Jesus' frustration with the Father in the text was not necessarily his doubts, but it was what his doubts were based on. His doubts were based on the power of, or lack of power, of his disciples. It was not based on the power of Jesus. Doubt set in when we start looking at what's happening around us and forgetting about the God we serve. Yes, I can have doubts and still be saved. Yes, I can have doubts and still have faith. And I may need a minute to deal with it. But don't let me stay there too long, because the goal is to have faith even when it's not my reality. My goal is to walk by faith and not by sight. My goal is to have now faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. My goal is to know that nothing is impossible with God. My goal is to know that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. My goal is to know that he will supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. My goal is to know that with his strength I am healed. My goal is to have faith. So Jesus commands the spirit to leave the boy and to never enter him again. Jesus' presence threw the demons into the submission. They went out of him, and when it leaves the boy, he appears to be dead. So for a moment, things look like they've gone from bad to worse. And there go doubt lingering again. I got my hopes up, but here we go again. I should have left him the way he was. At least he was alive. Now Jesus done came on the scene, and now he's dead. I should have left him the way he was. I should have never brought him down here in that church. He worse off than what he was. I knew I should have just left him at that house. I knew this Christian thing wasn't going to work out. I knew that wasn't nothing but to make it phony. I should have just left him where he was. Jesus looked there while everybody was talking. And they was looking on talking about, oh, he looked like he was dead. You better watch what you let people say over your situation. Don't let people talk and speak over your situation. Sometimes you gotta tell people, back up off of my stuff. You don't know what God is doing. You don't know how he's working. You can't let everybody speak over your situation. If you don't have faith like I do, I need you to back all the way up. If you can't speak life on my situation, I need you to back up. But Jesus took the boy by the hand and he lifted him to his feet. And he had just did the same thing not too long ago for Jairus' daughter. And he showed up to do it again. And he drives out the evil spirit and he gives the boy new life. And so he picks him up and the boy is living. And I want to ask you today, what needs to be driven out of your life that's giving you down so that you can have some new life, a new outlook, some renewed faith? How many times does God have to prove himself to you so that you can stand in faith? How many times does he have to prove himself faithful? Even when we are not faithful, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we can power that worketh inside of us. Now unto him who is able to keep us from falling and to get us falling before the Lord. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither have they entered into the heart of man the things God has prepared. God is my refuge, a very present help in the time of trouble. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. And whom shall I be afraid? One thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I seek after. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle. I will enter into his gates with thanksgiving. I will enter his courts with praise. How many of you know who you serve? How many of you know that he's proven himself over and over and over again? I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continue to be in my mouth. Oh, magnify the Lord and let us exalt his name together. He's worthy. He's worthy. He's worthy. He's worthy. How many of you know he's able? He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. He can do it. He has done it. And he will do it. He can do it. He has done it. And he will do it. He can do it. He has done it. And he will do it. Oh, bless him.
That people are believing
everything
That's right.
that has nothing to do with the Lord. And people are turning away from church and turning away from the Lord. And we got to be able to stand and still tell people that God is still able.
Yes, he is.
I'm praying, I've been praying and praying and praying for God to show himself so mightily that people will only be able to say that it was God.
Amen.
And you won't be able to give anybody else glory but the Lord. I'm praying that he shows himself so strong.
Amen.
So strong. Because the people need to see that God is still in control. Our president needs to see that God is still in control. It's not him, nor his money, nor a little bit of power that he thinks he has, but God is in control. I don't know who needed their faith reignited this morning. I don't know who is battling with doubt in their heart. But when I tell you this message has been pressing on me for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I knew that somebody needed to know that God is able. And it may not look how it did the last time, and he may not come how he did the last time, and he may not work it out the way he did it the last time, but he will work it out. At this time, if you would please stand. First, if you would like to say, or if you would like to join us in Christian fellowship, the body of Christ is open. We invite you to come and join us. If there is no one, if you would like to come to the altar, if you want to pray,